Howdy, howdy, pirates. Solex here, and I'm going to do another, 117 test with my dragons. Just got a newly refitted dragon. Going on along the plan of what I'm going to do. I put MX3 on it, back on it. From the previous test. Lowered explosive mount. Going to see how the added explosive defense helps, because as we can see here, it's at 95, whereas this one doesn't have it at all. Doesn't have any explosive, mounts on it. It's 97.85, so that's a 10% explosive increase, whereas it only gets a 7% penetrative decrease. So theoretically, it should do a lot better. I'd like to do a shout out to Genghis-Khan. He's one of my subscribers, and he was the one that actually provided this test for me. He, helped me get, a donation of a coin to me, and so that, in fact, allowed me to, get this dragon out early. So, good shout out to Genghis-Khan for that, and for helping me do this test. I have my fourth dragon in refit right now. So I'm doing another step up to it. I put 2 Gale 3s, so that 10% explosive defense will help me. And then I have the MX3 and explosive mount on it. And so hopefully this fourth one that's not refitted fully, this one right here, I'm going to do the refit MX3 explosive mount. I'm going to put another Gale on it, and then I'll add charged M on it. So it's a step progression. So I'll have this one ready for next FM cycle. Who knows if they'll have the damages reduced or not. It's a little bit of step up. So also, I will have to refit my zelos later on, so that's up to par, up to speed of these dragons, because these dragons are pretty fast for their what's the speed on it? 70 combat speed, and I'm barely at 59, so I do need to put some V mortars on it and that stuff, so it can speed it up. And that's just for to help it. But let's get this crew on. I still suggest mortar heads against the mortars. So there's that, and hopefully I can do another test before raid of the next one with the Gale 3. So that'll be one. So here's one right here. So without further ado, let me get it going. Alright, so that was interesting. Um, it's still hard to drive that thing. Very interesting. Driving it, having my zelos lag behind and that stuff. I will have to. That's one of my refits, but I'll do that with zelos tokens. Not sure if I have any zelos tokens right now, because I would do that one. I'd have one day. Hold on, let me. I just barely put that in there. Good news is my zelos didn't get hit, so that means no mortars hit me. Um, uh, what? Oh, okay. I was about to say, y'all saw that too, right? The full one was because I canceled my refit. It took the place of this guy, so that kind of threw me off there. So this one is the one without any changes. Reactive armor 3, no explosive mount. Let's check out the damage. So 1 hour and 16 minutes. Um, it's still hour and hour damage, because it's offset driving style. I'm pretty sure it gets more damage, and also I'm only running 3 dragons instead of 4 dragons. So what usually took me maybe I think 57 minutes, give or take, is taking 15 more minutes damage because I am running 1 dragon less. So that's could be one of the problems there. So give or take, that's one of the reasons like that. So that's with that one. This one right here is um, the older one with the reactive armor 3 and the explosive. So this one's 53 minutes. That's really not too bad, and that's around how it usually is. 57 minutes for the whole fleet, how it was before. Getting a reduction in time. I think my best one on the other videos was 47 minutes damage. And running 3 dragons, it adds a little bit more time. So that's all in all not too bad. If they were all fitted the same, I'm pretty sure it would get down to maybe 45 minutes damage per dragon on this sense. It's looking good so far. So now the new improved one, it looks a little bit more damage. Oh, 58. Yeah, I got more damage on it. 58 more damage. 58. So, that's an interesting one. Let's check it out. 53 and 58. That's 5 minutes damage difference, which is interesting. So, reactive armor 3 still seems to be better, but we will see later on whenever I refit the 4th dragon. No, the 3rd dragon. The one I'm going to do for the next test, because with the 3rd dragon I'm going to have explosive mount with MX3, and then I'm going to have the extra gale, so that adds extra explosive defense. So it's still, what's the explosive defense is 95%. So I think I get this to 96%. I don't know. Let me check exactly. But that's interesting. 5 minutes difference, and the MX3 is actually taking more damage than the reactive armor 3. I still have hopes for the MX3, just because if you do get hit by the mortars, you're going to get a lot of damage from the mortars. But let me test this out and see how it goes. How much defense I could get on this hull with MX3, because I believe it will be even better. I mean, granted, and we're going to do it M. So let's see the defense on that. So it says 94% right there. Would it matter if I take that off? So 94. See, it does boost it 1%, but that's not that much. So that's 94. What's the defense on my current MX3? It's right here. Okay. It says 95. So I'm confused. That's really confusing right there. Explosive is 95. Penetrative defense is 95. It says 95, but I don't have 2 gales on it. And if I had only 1 gale on it, it says 94 defense. I might have to take this to Huggies. I kind of want to see. Okay, so this is my Huggies. My theoretical builds. Okay, so this was my previous one, and I did some changes to it. Looking. Alright, so Huggies I like to look at and compare stuff, but so this one has all X armors and 2 M armors, so 3 X and 2 M's. The explosive defense is 88.8. I'm guessing they round up the percentage then, so if we do that, then let's get what is it? Explosive mount on this sucker. Let's see how it goes. That's that. Let's copy that one. Change it back to reactive. Okay, so these two are the same, except for it's the different the alloy armors. See, 97.8. Explosive is 92. So does not make any sense. It does actually, because it has the reactive armor 3. Let's check this out. 94.8, 96.5. So if I have 3 X's, it'll give me 96.5. Let me change that to a M. So it's 3 M's, 95, 95, 0.8, and 0.7. That is a pretty stable, it looks like. You get the best of both. And it should round up to 96% if it rounds up. So let's look at how this goes. I have it like this. That's exactly what it is, like that. Don't have a gale, and I don't have one charged armor, so it's 2 and 2. And they say 95, 95, if I'm correct. Yeah, so it rounds up the percentage. Okay, so that's good to know. So my proposed build that I want to do is MX3 with 3M charges and 2 X's, and that will give me a nice stable 96% penetrator and explosive defense on each. Now, needless to say, I will still keep in mind that the reactive armor 3 is doing better. So this build is the build I have on the one that was 5 minutes less damage, but also that 5 minutes less damage could also be the mastodons, because I was getting hit by the mastodons. So putting all that aside, that could be the reason why this build got hit more or got hurt more, was because it got hit by the mastodons. So I'm thinking, would it be good to do maybe one ship have reactive armor 3 just because of the mastodons? Have that ship go into the lead and hit the destroyers so that the mastodons target only the reactive armor 3 dragon instead of targeting, say, the MX3 dragon. That is one of my ideas, and I'll actually probably retest that later on. Retest that idea, but I also will have to have a clear label as to which dragon is which, because I won't know which dragon is which just by using the arrow keys. I could see what number it is, I don't know, but I think a clear, good representation would be to label the dragon that I'm using reactive armor on with a recondite rocket, because I still like the recondite rocket. It does do the debuffs on the mortars, so I will probably put 2 or 1, and just leave 1 recondite rocket on the dragons, but have the recondite rocket on the reactive armor 3 dragon, and then the other ones have just twin blade, not twin blade, twin fire rockets. And whenever I switch to the recondite rocket dragon to go in the lead, that'll be in the lead, and then the other dragon will follow suit. So, but naturally it will still take more damage. It'll still take damage, explosive damage, but that means I might need to have more explosive damage on it, or defense on it. So let me see what I can refit. If I'm going to refit this into the reactive armor. So if I'm going to keep this sucker, it's going to be low on explosive defense. So in order to mitigate that, I would think instead of using 3 M charges, why not put a X charge? So it's going to have 3 X's and 1 M. It's going to keep the reactive armor on there, and that boosts the explosive defense to 92. Not as good as 96, but you're getting 2% more penetrative defense, which ultimately it does help a lot. Having 2% increase uh, against per se just having missiles against missiles. Now, I mean, we could try and put some more gales on here to boost it. I'm not sure how much that will help. It will reduce the damage on it, but see 93. Um, Other than that, I'm not sure what else we can do. Let's try one more gale. I mean, be a complete gale hull. Let's see how it goes. 94. So you're only 2% less than the other dragons, but you're 2% more on the penetrative. So 2% less on explosive, 2% more on the penetrative. And that's just my ideas on this dragon, because this dragon would be the one that would want to go ahead and run into uh, the other holes, or better yet, if I was thinking maybe take off the explosive amount so that I could keep the explosive range, but that's also not an option, because if I take that off, you lose the explosive defense and the penetrative defense, so you're still SOL with taking on the regular target. So you have to have these explosive mounts on them if you want to take less and less damage. So, but as for it is right now, I'm taking ranging from 57 to 48 minutes damage per target if I have a full fleet. And these are not complete. I still need to put Siege Battery 4 on them, and I still need to put another charged armor on it. But those are my ideas on this. Other than that, it's looking not too bad. So I'll repair this hull, refit this sucker real quick, so that I can get the Gale 3 on it. And I'll do another test in a couple of days whenever this gets refitted. It'll be a day and something hours. I know that because I start this. I mean, if I wanted to test it like that, but I want to do another MX3 test and have the test with the extra Gale. So that'll be the next test, is MX3 with another Gale, and see how much that defense, explosive defense, is higher. Let's see. It was 96 to 95, 95, 95. So 1% more defense. We'll see how that goes. And it'll, drive with my other dragons the same. So in 1 day, 15 hours, that's probably going to be the next test. So while I do this one, I'll repair this. But whenever that one dragon gets done, I'll put in the next dragon, this one right here, put this in refits, and make it the designated reactive armor 3. Test that theory out. And while that one's out, I'll have 3 dragons with all explosive mounts, so there won't be any discrepancies on the speed of it. The only problem will be with the zelos, and I'm not sure how it's going to see. I'll leave that for next time. So that'll be the next thing. So thank you for tuning in to this test. Many thanks to Genghis Khan for allowing this test to happen before the raid. and allowing another test to be my sequence of tests being getting better and better. So I like to thank Genghis-Khan, one of my subscribers, for the aid. And hopefully we could do these targets you know eventually. Kind of still disheartened that the flagship is still months away. That's one problem I'm not liking. But other than that, that's all I can really do is do that. Um, but I'll share the my builds, what I'm thinking and that stuff down in the description below. I also will do timestamps for those who don't like me talking and just be like, oh, just get to the damn target. I'll get that to y'all. So no worries there. So I think that's about it that I can do than repair my ship. But it's getting a lot better. The first time I did these damage increased 117s, I was taking 4 hours damage. Now it's down to around 3 hours with 3 dragons. Now granted, I did do the 117s with the tanking ability, uh, with 1 dragon and 3 monoliths. I did do it with 1 hour's damage, but ultimately the problem here is the splash damage of the executioner missiles, and also the mortars. If you do not counter the mortars, they will hurt you. Or it's all based on splash, and don't think if I add any of the Ion Thruster 4, that 12% splash reduction probably won't do as much help. If there's any other specials later on that might increase the splash reduction, then I might think about that. But I don't think you can't put war plating on this sucker or anything like that. So that's the problem there. 12% isn't that much help enter splash reduction. So the best yet so far is me tanking with 1 dragon and then having the monoliths go through. But the monoliths are vastly underpowered in that sense, not as powerful as the dragons. So that's the problems there. So I'll I'll see what I can do. It's not looking too good. I mean, we're still going to take this amount of damage, especially if I have 4 of them. It'll be probably 4 hours again because it's added splash. So, but that'll be it. So, thank you for tuning in, pirates, and hopefully I'll see you next time.